G'day there guys, it's Connie here again, coming at you on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Anyway, we're reading some more stories from Reddit, so as usual, hit like and subscribe and all that stuff, and let's get straight to the stories. Alrighty friends, this first one was posted on a couple different subreddits, including Parenting and Off My Chest. It was written by a throwaway account, and it's titled, I, 16 male, have a 4-month-old daughter. Ex-girlfriend wants to go to college, and I am worried. Before anyone says anything, yes, I knew about condoms, I was just dumb. Story time. My parents divorced when I was 10, but lived primarily with my mum. Tiffany's, 16, parents are together. When our parents found out she was pregnant, her parents kicked her out, and my mum kicked me out, so we now live with my dad. During the pregnancy, my dad took my mum to court and got primary sole custody. I know what this means because I had to go to court for my daughter. He sued Tiffany's parents for legal guardianship, and they now pay child support for her, and they're ticked and refuse to talk to us. I'm in my bedroom, and my daughter is in her bedroom, and my ex is in the guest room that is now hers. My dad made a deal with us. We live with him until 18 with no rent payment. At 18, we need to decide what it is we do. I wasn't really that good in school, and Tiffany is an A student, so I took my GED, and my dad got me into welding school. I finished in 2 months. I also work full-time, so I do welding school at night. Tiffany goes to school and works on the weekends at Wendy's. This whole thing is a huge ordeal. We literally have no life. My dad helps, but not that much because he feels it's our responsibility, which I agree, but still sucks. I work 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. at a warehouse and go to school from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tiffany is home by 2:30 and picks up our daughter from daycare. We help each other a lot, and then I head off to school and she stays with her at home until I get home and do it all over again, day after day. When our daughter was born, my dad made us go to court. We have 50-50 and I don't pay child support because she lives with us. Because I work full-time, I can get healthcare for my daughter and myself, and that sucks. It costs me $300 a month and daycare is $400 a week. Literally, Tiffany works just so we can pay for daycare and I pay for everything else. When we're short for cash, my dad will help because he sees we are trying. My dad has been our rock. When we are tired and exhausted, he'll step in and give us a break here and there, but he makes sure we have everything we need and keeps us motivated. Tiffany wants to apply to college soon, and I'm worried because I don't want to keep living with her, and I don't think I can keep our daughter full-time as a welder working 12-hour shifts. But she says she'll start at community college and work, but wants to stay with us living together since it's easier. Since I'll be working and it will be best for us to stay with my dad, but my dad said at 18 we have to pay rent. She doesn't mind, but I don't want to keep living with her because we aren't together. I'm unsure how to tell her this. My dad thinks she should stay with us as long as she is a full-time student to finish her degree because I am already getting my career. I just feel that all this is unfair because the burden is on me. I guess I'm ranting because I'm scared and unsure of what all this means. Holy moly, talk about a situation. I mean, all I'm getting out of this so far is just how amazing the dad is here. I mean, it must be such a hard balance to be supportive like he is, but also not to have them reliant on him as well. Let's go to the comments. Your dad is an amazing man. You're right, being an adult and a parent is a burden. It sounds like you're working hard to make a good life for yourself and your kid. Keep doing it. Keep following your dad's advice because it is good. Ultimately, you don't get to choose where your kid's mum lives. Your dad gets to decide whether he will rent to her because it's his house. You can choose for yourself. Do you want to pay rent at your dad's or somewhere else? Check out your options and see what makes sense for you. Also, tell your dad how much you appreciate him. Opie replies, My dad has been great in all of this. I guess it's just a reality for me right now. I know living on my own will be far more expensive, and he's giving me 2 years to save money, so I don't think it will be that bad of rent he is asking for. I guess I just had to hear it from other people, and not just my dad, that this is the right thing. I still feel like he's trying to tell me what to do, and I get annoyed, I guess, like every other teenager. It means you're acting like adults and doing exactly what you should be. Honestly, live with your dad for as long as possible. If your ex can go to college, it's perfectly fine. Good for her. You should be proud of her and yourself. Live with her, co-parent, and be friends. This is the most important part of parenting. So many adults hate each other after separating and act ridiculous. You're both doing amazing. One day life will change, but for now, keep up with the personal growth. Don't worry about not living with her right now because you're not together. You're both very young. Get your lives together and the rest will fall into place in the future. Hug your dad too and tell him how much you love him. He's amazing. Parenting is expensive. It's not going to get any cheaper either. Take advantage of this time with your dad. Opie replies, Haha, I haven't hugged my dad in years. I always push him away. Maybe I do need to hug him. Tiffany and I are friends. I don't know now. I feel like she's a sister because she is here and I can't shake that feeling. And maybe that's why I don't want to keep living with her. One commenter adds, I wish when I was 16 I'd really understood that right now is not forever and short-term sacrifices pay off in the long term. I understand you're not in an ideal situation, but I'm so impressed that you and your child's mum are both working and going to school and co-parenting despite not actively dating anymore, and your dad has stepped up to be supportive and give some guidance. This is like how you ideally would hope people would work things out in this situation. Give yourself some credit. It sounds like you guys are doing outstanding. Opie says, we aren't dating and honestly we're here because of my dad. We would fight and argue and she would cry and my dad would step in and talk to us. He constantly tells me to talk things out when we are angry and it's hard because it's just so much, but he is here to pull me to the side and say no. That's how he is with my mum. She is a yeller and a rager. He is more of let's stay calm and logical kind of guy. I think you should listen to your dad as much as possible on this. Your ex should stay with you guys as long as possible so you both have the greatest chance of success in being able to take care of your daughter. I know it sucks, but you can't be worrying about your feelings towards your ex right now. You got to continue to focus on your daughter, who is helpless and needs you very badly to keep her best interests in mind. When you're a little older, you'll thank yourself profusely for stepping up at this time to take care of that baby. You should be proud of yourself as it is. You stepped up to the plate and are working very hard to ensure a good future for the baby and for yourself. Not a lot of teen fathers your age can say that. Remind yourself that it won't always be so difficult. The baby is brand new and has a lot of needs right now, and you are so young and still growing up yourself. In a few years, things will be much easier for you all. You'll be more capable, and so will the baby. Just keep your chin up and stick it to the grindstone. Do your best and continue to work hard. It will all pay off in the end when you see that child grow up happy and loving her dad. And Opie replies, honestly, I don't think I would be this good if it wasn't for my dad. He keeps me in line. You're right. The more I think about this, it's messing with me because I see Tiffany more like a sister now. Like we laugh and mess with each other like siblings, but she's my ex and it kinda weirds me out. Yo, I guess it's better that they act like that rather than, vindictive exes. Opie edits before an update. I guess my thing about her living with us is that we are more like siblings now. We get along and joke and stuff, but since she's my ex, I feel weirded out by it. Maybe I need to take a breather since everyone is saying it's a good thing. Also, I needed to hear it from other people and not just my dad, and he's pretty solid and I should thank him. Maybe take him for dinner or something. Second edit. My dad isn't kicking us out at 18, but he wants us to be realistic to the world and pay bills. The money he gets from Tiffany's parents, he just gives it to her. She's saving up money for a car and uses other money for her specific foods and clothes. Before I became a dad, my dad always wanted me to live with him at 18 and figure it out and stay with him and save money to buy a house. When he found out I was going to be a dad, he wasn't mad but disappointed and said everything has to change. He also is paying for my welding school of $20,000 and he bought me my car, but I do have to pay my own insurance. He does help as long as he sees we are trying and not being lazy. When school recently started, he took my daughter to daycare every morning and helped Tiffany with a routine to get schoolwork done. And final edit. I have to get to class now. Tiffany wants to be a nurse or PA, but the college told her nursing school is hard to get into, and it's best to have a high school diploma, which is why she's still in high school and working the weekends. But someone mentioned a dual thing for community college, and we will look into that. So we couldn't get daycare assistance because we're minors, and they used my dad's salary. The funny thing is, I can't open a checking account for myself because I'm a minor, but the bank allowed me to open a children's account for my daughter because I'm her parent. Lol, the irony. I read every single comment and it's given me a different point of view, and I guess college seems so far, and I was counting years, but it's really not that bad. She's like a sister now, and those who asked, I doubt we'll get back together. Honestly, I'm not thinking about anything like that right now. I'm too tired to think of a relationship or that type of future. Yeah, fair enough. On to that update, 3 weeks later. I don't know why I feel the need to update, but here it goes. Tiff and my dad went to the school and were able to get her enrolled in college courses because of her grades. She won't graduate high school way too fast, but she'll have enough to finish high school hours by next December, so 6 months early. She reapplied for assistance. We got a voucher for daycare, so now it's $50 a week. She quit her job so she can focus on school, but she doesn't start college until spring, so that's cool, it gives her some time. She still wants to be a nurse, so that's cool too. I got a new job that pays more as a forklift operator and will give me an internship for welding, which I won't be able to start until November or December until I finish my classes, and then I have to do a 2-month internship, but they're paying me really good. I started Monday. My dad and I had a long talk about my fears, and he reassured me that it's okay to be scared, but we have a game plan. He is fixing up the basement to make 2 bedrooms and a living room like a little apartment because he said Tiff and I will need space as we grow. He wants me to buy the house when I'm 18, like he did with his parents, and he will help me pay it as long as Tiff gets to stay until she finishes college and let her make her own choice. We all agreed this is the best option, and we're all really much happier now. I guess I just needed to let it out. Tiff and I are great, while being parents is hard, but it's been good now that we feel a bit more secure. My mum and Tiff's parents still haven't spoken to us because we aren't married, which does make me sad, but it's okay, we have my dad. Tiff's grandparents bought her a car and said that's all they can do for her, and not to contact them again until we're married. The car needs some work, but I'm going to pay for it to fix it up. It needs brakes, suspension, and some regular maintenance. My dad finally told me what all happened, and I didn't know, but it made me open my eyes to all of this. My dad met my mum in high school too, and they were together and got caught kissing. Since my mum's family are Baptist, they forced my dad to marry her. I didn't know in Missouri parents can marry their kids at 15, which is why my dad has been so protective. They were going to marry Tiff and I because she was pregnant, and when my dad stepped in, they couldn't do it. My mum and Tiff's dad went and got a license for us and were going to marry us in their church. I guess I wouldn't have minded marrying Tiff, but I would rather do it later. But yeah, that's why they aren't talking to us. My dad did say if that happened, he would help us get it annulled, but we have no intentions of speaking to them right now. He explained that Tiff is stuck, and while I might be afraid, she is even more afraid because she has no one, and I need to reassure her we're here for her as a family. I guess I couldn't see it that way, and it's good that I talked to him. I hugged my dad, and I've been hugging him every day now, and it's nice. It's made us closer. All of this information made me pretty sad and grateful at the same time, and it helped Tiff and I really start talking more. Like we talked, but we didn't talk, and I don't know, she was scared too. We're now doing days for us to be kids, as my dad says. So we both hang out with our friends who still talk to us at least once a week, and Tiff and I do a lot of stuff on the weekends now that she doesn't work, like taking Jelly to the park and going for walks, and we did a pumpkin patch. Jelly seems to be happier too, and Tiff doesn't get as tired anymore. Anyway, thanks everyone for the advice, tips and encouragement. I doubt I'll update again and just lurk for parenting advice. Edit, I just want to say thanks for thinking I'm a great dad, but I don't believe it just yet. I depend a lot on my dad to help me. Tiff and I are trying. We do take parenting classes that they offer us a lot of advice, and we've made friends there, which is nice. But I don't think we would be this prepared without my dad. Also, Tiff is on WIC, and we take parenting and co-parenting classes. It's my dad's rules. Okay, and 18 months later, Opie updates again. Holy crap, guys. I finally logged into Reddit and had tons of messages, and I found this post. I honestly just didn't expect this. I might as well make an update. Well, Tiff and I are 18 now. I first made my post 2 years ago, and Jelly is 2 years old as well. My dad is doing really good now. He finally has a girlfriend, and of course he met her at Tiff's community college. She is an admissions counsellor. Tiff is in CC for nursing and killing it. She'll have her associates in nursing and then head over for her bachelor's at some point, but yeah, she's doing really good. I'm a welder now, and I make pretty good money. Tiff and I are back together, and we started dating again this New Year's when she kissed me, and it just felt right. But she made it very clear we are dating, so she is in the basement, which we fixed up, and I'm in my room upstairs, and she makes me text her if it's okay to come over. Haha, it's just a funny thing we do. Yeah, I'm going to marry her. We go to family counselling 4 times a month, 2 weeks virtual and 2 weeks in office because of our schedule. We found that this helps us. It's like couples counselling, but not. I'm not the best communicator, and this has helped me with the stressful times with Tiff and Jelly. I feel like I aged the past 2 years. I definitely don't feel 18, I feel a bit older. Jelly is the most happiest kid, and she literally lights up a room, and I honestly just can't imagine not being in her life every second of the day. She loves Pa, that's what she calls my dad. She has him wrapped around his finger. He literally spoils her all the time. I really love being a dad to her. I love taking naps with her, and how she's just a daddy's girl. She's literally my shadow. It drives Tiff crazy, but she's also really happy. We do go out on dates to like dinner and movies, and sometimes we just sit in the car and talk and laugh. Mostly laugh. My dad has changed a lot, and us four are really, really close. He is so much happier, and I think his girlfriend makes him happy, like made him alive again. He's always doing some weird teaching moments, like if Tiff is irritated and walks away, he'll just say, "Well, an irritated woman tends to shop to get her mind off things. Can you afford that?" Lol. So yeah, he's constantly with his little comments. I haven't spoken to my mother at all, and I have no intentions of doing so. Tiff's parents did come back and try to build a relationship with her, but they always made her feel like crap, so she cut contact with them. My dad still wants us to buy the house, and I told him we have no plans on ever moving out, so I told him I will buy the house when either I am 30 or when Tiff and I get married, and she said not until she graduates and gets a job. So no wedding bells for at least another 2 years. If you ask Tiff, she says she doesn't plan on getting married until she's 28, so it might be longer, haha. Oh well, what a great update. Things are moving really well for these guys. And yeah, I think it's probably for the best to be no contact with the mum and the parents after this. Opie comments. He explained that Tiff is stuck, and while I might be afraid, she is even more afraid because she has no one and I need to reassure her we're here for her as a family. A commenter says, "Most excellent dad." And Opie says, "To be honest, this was the statement that made me wake up. At that time, I just saw everything as a burden. I lived off of adrenaline, and honestly, the moment she said she was pregnant, until I made that post, everything was a blur. I was scared and just really confused about life. I was tired and I couldn't think. Everything was a fog." Tiff and I talked a lot about how, regardless of whatever happens in our future, she is my family. We are a family. Being 16, I wanted to just be with my family. My mum walked away and it was just me and my dad and a baby and now a girlfriend. I know that sounds selfish, but that is how I was thinking and really overwhelmed. With therapy and my dad, it really helped me. I wouldn't say get over, but really find my own voice and be myself and actually use my words. I just bottled everything in, and when my dad said that, it really did break through to me. Okay, Opie goes over to Off My Chest for a separate post titled, "My dad's girlfriend is pregnant. My dad doesn't know, and she doesn't know he's going to propose, and I'm so happy, and I need to get it off my chest before I explode and accidentally tell them. My dad, 38, has been trusting me to not spill the beans that he's going to propose to his girlfriend, 33, let's call her Kay, on his birthday in 2 weeks. I helped pick up the ring when it was ready and have been hiding it for a month. But Kay spent the weekend with us and was acting very moody. I don't want to make it sound bad because it's not, but she usually is an early riser and very bubbly, but this weekend she seemed very tired and different. I heard my dad yell down to the basement, "We will be back." I yelled back, "Okay." I went upstairs to get some snacks out of boredom and went into the guest bathroom, not thinking anything about the door being closed, and she was there staring at a pregnancy test. We locked eyes and I immediately shut the door. I waited for her to come out or say something, but then I heard her crying, and I knocked and opened the door, and she looked at me and said she's pregnant and started sobbing. My first reaction was to yell for joy, and then reality hit. I am 18, and my dad will be starting over, and I have a daughter, and my dad is a grandpa already. She asked me to keep it a secret, and she believes she's about 9 weeks pregnant. She would have to check, but yeah, I'm finally going to be a big brother. I can't tell him, and I can't tell her of the all-around great news. I told her to wait until his birthday because he would love it. I know my dad. He's going to be ecstatic, probably scared, but definitely excited. My dad has helped me become a pretty good father, and even a good partner to my girlfriend. He's an awesome dad and grandpa. Now we both get to be dads together. I can't wait to tell him. Did you check the baby's diaper? Lol. Sorry, I had to get this off my chest. I can't tell my girlfriend, my dad, or my future stepmom. Ah. Edit, let's clear the air. She is happy to be pregnant and overwhelmed. She was sobbing because she didn't think it could happen, because she was with her ex for 6 years and never got pregnant. Also, yes, I'm 18, almost 19, with a 2.5-year-old daughter, and my girlfriend and I live in the basement of my dad's house. Update, I survived dinner and Kay brought up a baby, and my dad laughed, saying, "Oh man, that would be awesome, but it's not in our cards." This is because Kay believed she couldn't have babies, and mentioned maybe adoption or more grandkids. Side note, he'll have to wait a long time for more grandkids. I learned my lesson. We discussed my dad's birthday, and Kay's mum is going to make his favourite dish, enchiladas, and it's going to be at the house after we convinced my dad to have a small party with Kay's parents and siblings, us, and a few of his close friends. She thinks she's going to surprise him, and he is thinking he won by having her family here. I feel like this is going so well, and I'll update everyone when it happens, but I do appreciate the forum to express myself. I'm not on Reddit very often, as I'm switching from 410s to second shift and in training from second shift stuff. I mean, I don't know what that means, but man, what a great update again. Seems like this family is getting some well-deserved good karma coming their way. Opie updates 2 weeks later. Well, here's an update. The past 2 weeks has been hell to keep all this in and not accidentally tell anyone anything, but this is how it all went. It took me a while to make this update because I've been in my feels. Monday, my dad tried to sleep in like usual, but my daughter was not having it, so we made him breakfast in bed, and they watched Disney movies and danced until 11 a.m. The rest of the day I spent cleaning the house and prepping for everyone. My girlfriend Tiff went to go pick up Kay's parents at 3:30, and were at the house by 4. Kay showed up around 4:30. Just some info. Kay's parents are older and live with her at her house so they can save their money from working to retire faster and possibly spend the winters in warmer climates and summers here with Kay. Dinner was amazing, we all had a great time, and Jelly was definitely stealing the spotlight trying to help blow out Pa's candles, but he didn't mind so much. The whole time my heart was racing and I was trying to figure out how to help my dad propose and help Kay tell him. So, the way it happened was that my dad put the engagement ring in a gift bag to make it look like it was a gift to him, and he planned on opening it last to surprise her. She planned on her gift having the ultrasound picture last to surprise him. As you see, this wasn't working, because they were both adamant on which gift being last. Again, I'm struggling trying to be the middleman because he wasn't listening, and I didn't want her to get upset, so we finally convinced him to open Kay's present before his. Arguing with the birthday boy was giving me dirty looks from everyone, and Tiff ended up elbowing me in my ribs to cut it out. I was stressed. So my dad opens Kay's gift and sees the ultrasound in a frame, but didn't look at the name or anything, just the ultrasound, and he stared me down and then looked at Tiff and yelled, "You're pregnant? I'm having another grandbaby?" Literally, he yelled it so loud. Everyone yelled congrats, and Tiff yelled back, "F no." The look of confusion on everyone's face, and Kay over there snort laughing and said, "No, I'm pregnant." My dad just blank-faced stared at her for what felt like an eternity, which was really like 10 seconds, and asked, "Are you sure?" She said yes and showed her name on the ultrasound, and that's when my dad just started crying and hugging her. He was so happy, and his hands were shaking, and he was hugging everyone, saying he was going to be a dad again. I nudged him, and he quickly ran to get his gift, and got on one knee and proposed. Now everyone is crying. Kay said yes, and honestly we probably could have cured some land drought with all the tears in the room. Kay's mum almost had a heart attack, and her dad couldn't stop hugging Kay and my dad. Tiff was surprised I kept this for so long and didn't even tell her. I did ask for them to not stress me out like this if they planned a gender reveal, and to just give it to someone else, lol. The stress from all of this literally made me nauseous. Here is where I am all in my feels, and why it took a while for me to write this. When my girlfriend was pregnant, I didn't have that sense of joy and happiness and feeling like my dad did. He is so excited, and now he is engaged, and you can just see and feel it all over him. He wouldn't stop touching Kay's stomach and kissing her. When Tiff told me she was pregnant, I was scared and wanted to run. I love my daughter, and she is so awesome, but even going to the doctor's appointments, Tiff and I would cry after because of how real it was, and we weren't happy. I wouldn't change any of it, but some part of me feels robbed. Obviously this is our own fault, but that doesn't take away that feeling. Then the other portion of reality hit. Kay has her own house, her own family. My dad has us, but I have my own family now, and this will change everything. When is he going to move in with her? Do I take over the mortgage payments? I planned on building my credit to get approved, but I thought I had time, but it seems like time was yesterday. What now about my family? She doesn't want to get married out of need, but want. But what happens if something happens to me? Where will they go? Where will my daughter live? How do I secure their future like my dad did for me? Anyway, I hope this was the update everyone was looking for. I just want to thank everyone for giving me strength to hold on to this secret. When I felt like I was going to explode, I would just come back and read the comments. Wow, yeah, kudos for holding the secret for so long. Don't know if I would have been able to do that. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, Opie updates again, 7 months later. So, I've been receiving a lot of messages asking for an update, which is really wholesome, but also feels weird to see my life on other social media platforms. And now Tiff has seen them, she says I need to keep this up, lol. So I don't know, it's been 7 or 8 months, but Kay and my dad got married. He is living his best life ever, but of course it didn't come without drama from my mum. When she found out my dad was having another baby and getting married, she completely flipped out. She started to call him to the point of harassment, but it didn't bother him until she went after Kay, and that's when he shut it down. I'm not sure what he did, but he drove over to her place, and that was the last I heard about it. Rumourville is that he threatened to show the church what she was doing and saying, which isn't very Christian-like, and that was enough for her. Kay is due really soon. She's 38 weeks pregnant, and I will soon be a big brother to my little sister. On the other front, Tiff is kicking school's ass. She's been taking 5 classes a semester on a fast track for an ADN. If she keeps up this pace without burning herself out, she should be done by early next year. After that, she's going to take a gap year before pursuing her BSN, and in hopes that she can do it online and have the hospital do some type of tuition reimbursement so we don't have to pay out of pocket anymore. Jelly is doing great and will start pre-K this fall, and we're nervous since she's always been home with us and taken care of by us, that the idea of her being somewhere else and us not to have full access to her is really scary. Work has been really great, and I've made some really good friends there, and I've been considering going into the Welders Union for the benefits and future pension. My job though doesn't want me to join the union and have offered to pay me more money to not join, which to me screams red flag. My dad moved in with Kay and her parents. I've been paying half of the mortgage and the house bills. The goal is for me to buy the house from my dad in the next few years to relieve him of the burden of taking care of housing me and the family. Therapy is going great. We moved our couples and family therapy to once a month because during my individual therapy, my therapist asked me to be evaluated for ADHD and depression, which come to find out I do have ADHD, which makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to school and all my racing thoughts. I'm now medicated and it's like my brain is awake. I have less outbursts, I'm not as easily overwhelmed to the point of anxiety, and it's really helped Tiff and I a lot. It's easier for me to articulate my emotions now, and not just have them fester and create chaos in my brain. I got into Wheel of Time series, and I saw somewhere that the books are better, and I read the first book. I have to admit, this is the first time I can honestly say I read a book. Thinking about high school, I never read the chapters, I skimmed through them to get by. I can't express how much happier we are right now. Kay's parents have been the grandparents we always wished for, and they treat us with so much love and respect. And they just love Jelly so much. They take her to the park, and sometimes just stop by on Tiff and I to see how we're doing. We're constantly over there at Kay's place. We go there twice a week for dinner, and Jelly can't wait to meet the baby. We are all excited. Tiff and I had some very serious conversations. While we're nowhere near ready to have another baby or to get married, we both have agreed that we would revisit the idea of marriage and expanding our family when we are 25. We don't want to rush anything more than we already have, and she wants to focus on school and career. We did throw the idea of getting married for the benefits of in case something happens to me with life insurance, the house, etc., but my dad was able to help us with getting a lawyer to make a will and trust. Our main goal is to take care of Jelly, save money, and plan a family trip to Disney this summer. One comment says, "That's so exciting. Let Tiff know that we're all grateful for her telling you to do this. You should always listen to her. She seems really smart, especially about doing a gap year and then continuing towards her BSN. And as a fellow guy who was diagnosed with ADHD after I finished school as well, congratulations on finishing that book. That's an accomplishment I respect." Opie says, yeah, I was pretty proud of that. I realized I had to reread the sentence over and over. It was like I didn't know how to read. I read the sentence, but I wasn't reading. I was just saying words in my head. It took me around 2 months to read it. I kept getting frustrated, and my therapist said I should read out loud until I get used to reading. Okie dokie, 10 months later, a new update. Hi everyone, there's been numerous requests for updates, and I still can't believe how many internet strangers are invested in my whirlwind of a life, haha. Now before anyone asks, no, she's not pregnant or anything, but Tiff has been working at the ER as a registration person, so it can help with clinicals and knowing people and getting a good rotation. Well, after Christmas, Tiff got really sick, and she couldn't kick this weird cough. She would get it at night. It got so bad we took her to the ER, and they just said she had bad upper respiratory. She was taking steroids and an inhaler, but it still got worse. Finally, after she passed out at work, she was diagnosed with walking pneumonia and had to stay in the hospital for 2 days because of how bad it was. At the hospital, they asked for her next of kin and wanted to call her parents. My dad tried showing the guardianship, but since we're no longer minors, we are technically not her next of kin. Thankfully, she was able to speak enough to tell the hospital we were her family, but it really did give us a wake-up call. When she got home, she still had some recovery, and we started really talking about our future and where we are in life, and how we really got snatched into adulthood. While we are happy together and we're in this till the wheels fall off, we really need to stop playing family. She did bring up the legal stuff she learned at school, wills, advanced directives and something proxy, but it wasn't just about that as well. We have a daughter, a life, and while it's a million times sooner than we expected, we wanted to wait until we were 28 or 30 years old to get married. It was the right step for us. My dad sold me the house. We did owner finance, went through the title company and lawyers. Tiff and I decided to get married at the courthouse, but don't worry, I still properly proposed with a cameraman, and I cleaned up very well, even wore a button-down shirt. For the courthouse, I did wear a suit and she did wear a dress. Our friends and family were there as well to make it as special as possible. We are planning to remarry in 2030 to have a nice wedding and ceremony. We figure she'll be done with school, maybe even be adult enough for a honeymoon. Regardless, we have 5 years to plan, lol. Since my dad moved out to live with Kay, it did change our relationship. We weren't under Dad's house, even though he wasn't in our relationship like that, but not having a parent here really did change how we interact, and it helped us grow, but we're nowhere near properly adulting. Like, I totally forgot to buy toilet paper and random things that were always just there, lol. Now, for my dad and Kay, and my tiny big personality little sister, she is the best, and her and Jelly absolutely love each other. I can't tell you how much seeing them gave us baby fever, but don't worry, we still shut that down real quick. While we feel a bit more financially stable, and just stable overall, we're just not ready to be adulting to the point where we have 2 kids, lol. Dad and Kay are so in love, it's ridiculously gross, but it's really nice seeing them happy. There's really not anything large happening other than trying to plan for some travelling. Going to Disney made us realise how much we're missing, and Jelly did so well, so we have some things on the 2025 travelling list. Maybe road trips, but I don't have a beard yet, and I feel like dad, mum and kid road trip requires for the dad to have a beard to be taken seriously. I don't know, just a random thought. That's probably not far from the truth. Let's read some final comments. Nah, road trips are not reserved exclusively for facial hair. However, you do have to make sure Jelly can manage being confined in the car seat for any length of time. Congrats on getting married and still having a plan. You're all doing a fabulous job. Honestly, adulting is hard, even without parenthood. Lots of rites of passage, like forgetting to buy toilet paper. How's Jelly getting on now? Are you still in the same job? Just keep on keeping on. You already got this. You're smashing it. So lovely to be updated. Thank you. Opie replies, Jelly is doing awesome. She's learned so much in such a short period of time, and we met some really cool parents from her class, so now we have people to hang out with. She is really sweet and just talks so much. It's non-stop from the time she wakes up to the time she goes to sleep. She's just a talker. I'm at the same job. Welding is great, but I have still been contemplating manufacturing. It's cleaner and long-term won't destroy my body, according to Tiff. I do plan on looking around. I still have a lot to learn, so I think when I officially hit 5 years is the spot. The guys at work are fun. They took a while to really warm up to me, but now they're real quick to teach me all their tricks. The commenter replies back, That's awesome, little chatterbox. Who does she get it from? And it's great you've found other cool parents to hang out with. Tiff's right, I think. It's an industry which will take a long-term toll on your physical health, and you've got a great family you have to stay fighting fit for, but take all the learning you can. All the best. If it's cool with you, please do periodically let us know how you're all getting on. And Opie replies back, she definitely is far more talkative than us. She just says whatever is on her mind and has tons of questions. According to my dad, I was like this when I was a kid, but slowed down when I got older. It's nice to just hear her in the background. When she stops talking, we know she's into something, lol. Congratulations to you and your little family. I followed your story and it's fabulous to hear little updates from you. So pleased things are going good. You guys are awesome. And I include your dad, Kay, and the little ones. Oh, so happy for you, Tiff and Jelly. Congrats on the wedding. Glad to hear your dad and Kay are doing well too. And the other posters are right. You can absolutely road trip without a beard. I'm sure you have lots of dad trivia you can share on the drive to get into full road trip dad mode. This is the lovely, happy updates I come to Reddit for. I'm so happy for them, and I remember reading this from a long time ago during the OG post. The effort the dad put in to not only teach his son, but this woman who turned to daughter-in-law the right way to do things while helping support a grandchild on top of doing his usual work is monumental. It's inspirational to see how his guidance really paid off. On a separate note, it's also really a testament to the hard work of two young adults who had to grow up very fast and adapt to the harsh realities of life. I think they have their head on straight and will continue to slowly advance themselves and, in turn, raise a wonderful child. Really wish all of them the best. I know I'll be tuning into the 2030 update if possible. This is truly one of the best update stories. There are a few stories where I do cheer for updates, like that amazing OP in Australia who takes care of her siblings with some of her older siblings. They have moved, ended up taking custody of another baby, starting school, had Christmas and birthdays. We all know that one. I really appreciate how OP here still does cancelling, and how his relationship is then with his dad, partner, dad's wife and little sister, and of course, Jelly. Did we just watch someone grow up before our very eyes? Not quite all the way, we're still waiting on facial hair. This and the Jelly's such a chatterbox, I don't know where she gets it from. Bro, gestures at thread. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I read that. Bro's a yapper, and he doesn't even know it. Anyway guys, that's the last update for that story so far. A great uplifting story, we love to hear it. What are your thoughts about that one? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, we're going to leave that story there and move on to another one. Okay, a quick one from Petty Revenge. This one was written by user ATO, and it's titled, My coworker loves taking credit for other people's work. Then he got exposed. I work as a software engineer, and in my team we follow the usual process of writing code, reviewing it, testing it, and deploying it. One of my coworkers, Steve, had a habit of taking credit for other people's work in front of management. He isn't a bad developer, but he loves making it seem like he was doing more than he actually was. I'm quite introverted, so I don't usually speak up in meetings unless I have to. Calling someone out directly doesn't come naturally to me, so I usually just let things slide. During a big project, I spent days fixing a complicated bug. The problem ran deep, and the fix had to work across different parts of the code. If you hadn't actually worked on it, it was pretty hard to follow. After a lot of testing, I finally got it done. At the next team meeting, before I could even say a word, Steve jumped in and started explaining my fix as if it was his. He kept saying things like, "We decided to," and "Our approach was to," making it sound like he was the person behind it. I was annoyed, but I kept quiet. The next day, another bug popped up in the same area of code. Our manager turned to Steve and said, "Since you worked on this, can you patch it?" And that's when the fun started. Steve froze. The thing is, if you didn't actually write the fix, it wasn't easy to understand how it all fit together. He had no idea where to even begin. He tried stalling and even sent me a message asking if I could explain the logic of the code real quick. I told him that I was busy at the moment and that I'll catch up with him later on. I didn't. After 5 hours of struggling, he finally admitted in the team chat and wrote something like, "Actually, I didn't write this part. Maybe OP can take a look." I replied, "Of course, I'll check it." 10 minutes later, I had it fixed. Our manager came over and congratulated me. We were chatting for a bit, and before heading off, he made a deliberate comment about how great it was having someone who actually understands what we're working on. Steve didn't say a word. F you, Steve. Yeah, serves him right, and it sounds like management's caught onto him as well, so that's a good thing. Anyway guys, maybe you got some similar stories like that you'd like to share down below. Otherwise, that's it from me today. Hope you guys enjoyed those stories, thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.